Today's Cosplay Con Talk episode is sponsored by Moco Queen Color Contacts. Don't forget to use my code Wayne for 10% off at checkout at mocoqueen.com. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. How's it going, everyone? Wayne Lee Known here, and welcome back to another episode of Cosplay Con Talk, where we basically discuss everything pertaining to the cosplay community and conventions. It has been a few weeks, few-week hiatus. Just started to not feel well and everything, so it took some time, mainly posting YouTube shorts. But we are back. You'll see an episode for last week. So, yeah. Again, also we're joined by Console Cosplay, who is pretty much a regular on this series. And yeah, with that being said, I'm going to leave it here to Kat Valentine to let you know what we are going to be doing once again. To you, F-Bomb Queen.
That's me. Hi, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Am I the Asshole Cosplay Edition. As the title kind of implies, we are going to be asking the age-old question, am I the asshole? We are going to be going through some super fun Reddit posts. I have scoured Reddit, I have scoured the internet, and I have looked for things pertaining to cosplay and fandom and conventions. And I have looked for the age-old question, am I the asshole? And we are going to be your judge, juries, and executioners, and we are going to give our professional or maybe not so professional opinions on if these people somewhere in the world are the asshole, or if they're not the asshole, or if everybody's the asshole, or if nobody's the asshole. And it's a really fun show, and we hope that you guys have a good time, and we'd love to hear your opinions too. So if people want to give their opinions down in the comments, or if you don't, that's perfectly fine too. Yeah, so let's get started. Does everybody want to introduce themselves, or do we want to just pop right in? How are we all feeling?
I mean, everyone knows me, and I was actually. Oh, Minty,
Who?
are you wanted to? Oh,
Who are you?
Oh, wait,
Oops.
what?
Wanye?
Oh, very funny.
The gnome?
Okay.
I'll make sure this gets blurred out. Bro, I wanted to ask Minty, are you wanting to read or just listen in tonight?
I can read if needed.
Yeah.
And Console, if you're wanting to come on for next week, I'll be sure to send you the links to all of for episode 6 in case you're wanting to chime in and read.
I'm always down to do any of these videos, so I always come time.
All right. Kat, I was wondering if I can read this one.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, this one is called, and I actually was skimming through this one before we started. It is called, Am I the Asshole for Changing Cos Plans Close to a Convention? And it already says this, and it already says this person's the asshole, but we'll see. We'll see.
We're going to see. We're going to find out. What is the nuance, if any?
I think we're all a little assholes somehow. Anyway, so I have a pretty big friend group, of which a big part visits a con yearly as a group. This is one of the first times I can make it on the same days as them, and I was really excited to be able to go, as were they. The plan was to go Disney bounding, wearing basic clothes related to Disney characters. I'm always one for Disney bounding.
Oh, yeah.
Because most of us didn't have time to prepare full cosplays due to college and work. Oh, I mean, I think anyone who goes to college and or work, is lucky enough to go to a con if they can afford it. Because let's face it,
absolutely.
college and work, bills and everything. It is.
Oof.
I hands down give props to those who can afford to go to a convention almost every year, or like 5 in a month. Like,
oh my god!
Yeah. I wish I can do that. Anyway, anyway, none of our characters were coordinated, mind you. We just picked characters that we either looked like or could match easily with what we had. Okay, so like cosplays too.
Mhm.
I, however, was able to get another cosplay ready for this con that I really wanted to wear because it looked so good, and and if oh and if it not well, they said if, but it says as if, but it meant if, and it really fit my figure and everything, which is very rare for me, and I'm sure we can all agree here. Trying to find a cosplay that fits in general is like nice.
Oh yeah.
Show of hands here or voices of when it's nice to have a cosplay fit you.
Sorry, my
God.
cat is trying to destroy my mic right now. But yes, I
Luna,
agree.
stop destroying your mom's mic.
She keeps trying to pull the pop filter off.
Well, she thinks it's a true toy. But yeah, show of hands or voice here of when it's nice to have a cosplay that fits you. You don't have to worry about adjusting it or anything.
Oh my god, I feel like a god. The rare times that
I
it does happen, it's so nice.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't think that's ever happened to me. There's a reason I make stuff, so
Yeah, exactly. Anything out of the box, I just assume I'm going to
Oh
have to
god.
alter
Yeah,
it.
nope,
Mhm.
right out.
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's why
Well,
I prefer to make when I can.
that's why I do casual cosplay because trying to find a cosplay that fits me is never easy because it's two
Right?
sizes small, two sizes big, and it's like, what? Why do I have to be tall and have a dad bod? Anyway,
I just have
um,
very broad shoulders.
well, that too.
But the rest of me is like an hourglass, so I'm just like, "God damn it, I'm just a very broad hourglass." And so designers think, "That doesn't exist."
All right. So I asked my friends if they would be okay with me changing cosplans since I'm not attending all of the same panels as them and will be on my own for my own for some time. They said yes, but made sure to let me know they didn't like it at all. Oh.
I mean, yeah.
I got responses along the lines of "You can't wear it," but then we're going to wait. Let me see. I got to read this up close. Sorry, everyone. I got responses along the lines of "You can wear it, but then we're going to split off at the entrance as fast as possible." I said they didn't need to wait for me if anyone wanted to take pictures, but I would like to go with them as much as I can and meet up if I ever get slowed down or something. Basically, I knew I'd slow them down sometimes and said they didn't always need to wait for me since the con is huge and we split up eventually sometimes anyway. So everyone reading from my computer instead of my phone is a bit different. But then one of the friends, let's call her Clara, said I couldn't stick with them because they all agreed I'd be upstaging them and making their efforts for their Disney bounds useless, and that really hurt me because I'm pretty insecure about my looks, and I would never actively tell them I was better or anything. So I don't know where this came from. Okay. The thing is, Clara has been being not so nice to me for quite a bit now. Basically, whenever I have an opinion, she always, without fault, is on the other side of things, and instead of being civil about it, she gets incredibly mad over the smallest things, force me to concede and back off from the group chat for a bit. Mm,
Ooh.
all right. One of the
Okay.
friends I'm still close with from the group did tell me that there was a group chat they had for planning this con that I wasn't in, where they were. Wait, what? So they, to tell me there was a group chat they had planning for this con that I wasn't in, where they were saying I should have told them earlier. Either I had another cosplay, and then they wouldn't have minded. That it now sounded like I was trying to force them to Disney Bound while I went into full cosplay. But keep in mind, this cosplay wasn't available to me until very recently, so I had no idea I'd be able to use it for this edition already. The TLDR, I changed cosplays a few months before the con because a better cosplay became available to me. My friends have decided to go Disney bounding, and now they're saying I'm trying to upstage them on purpose by changing it last minute. So they can't adjust their picks anymore, and want me to split off from them as possible. Am I the asshole? And here's the edit. It seems like I worded some of the parts a bit wrongly. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm excited to go with them, mostly for Artist Alley, walking around and other merchant stuff to fawn over together. I didn't pick all of the same panels to go for the simple reason of a lot of them choosing for panels being related to a franchise, and I haven't seen a single piece of media from. the part of me saying it's okay to move on if I get hung up after they said yes, but let's split from us because I thought maybe fucking Christ. Because I thought maybe that was the reason they didn't want me to go into full cosplay. Is this person the asshole? Consul, since you're new here, are they the asshole?
I would say no. Like, I feel like we are missing a little bit of context here, but from what I personally would say is no. I'm always the advocate for cosplay what you want. That being said, if you had already committed to a group, that does kind of suck as the other people in the group, but it also does feel like it was a very casual group to begin with by the sounds of it. Like everyone was just doing this for funsies. No one was particularly matching it in any one way or another. I feel like it would be the original poster, I feel like would be more of an asshole if it was like they had a photo shoot planned that was being paid for, they had like more like intricate costumes. Like as far as like hanging out with friends at a convention, like no one is obligated to hang out with anyone else. Like no one is obligated to go to the same panels as someone. If you are cosplaying together, you're not even obligated to stick together the whole con. If one person wants to go to panel A and one person wants to go to panel B, then they can split off even if their costumes are matching. It really doesn't matter, and no one really cares. Like, I feel like people make a bigger deal out of cosplay groups than they actually are. Like, if you want to do a group cosplay, great, do a group cosplay. If you want photos in that group cosplay, schedule a photo shoot. If you want to do a group cosplay to be a group cosplay, like schedule it that way. Don't just assume everyone is going to be glued together at the hip simply because you're matching. If that were the case, then whatever's most popular to cosplay right now, half the convention would be glued together at that point. Like,
Oh yeah.
just your cosplay thing doesn't mean that you have to stick together the entire convention. And it also doesn't mean that you can't hang out. Just because you're not cosplaying from the same series doesn't mean that you can't hang out. That's one of the greatest parts about conventions is you get to meet so many people who are parts of so many different franchises and take silly photos together. The amount of times that I've had parents of like little kids who recognize my costume ask me to take a photo with their kid, and so it's me in some sort of crazy anime costume taking a photo with their little kid who's dressed up as a Disney princess. Two completely different franchises, and then my friend will be over there dressed from a completely separate media, and they're like, "Oh, you get in on the photo too." No one cares. No one cares if you're matching. As long as you look fun and cool. No one cares if you're matching or not. And if you want to do a group cosplay, schedule a time together to do a group cosplay. It doesn't sound like there was any sort of plans or scheduling or commitments as far as like photo shoots or any sort of financial commitments as far as like these cosplays. Like it seems like most everyone was doing a closet cosplay or like these Disney bounds just based off of whatever they had in their closets. So it doesn't seem like anyone lost anything financially by the person like dropping out of the group. It doesn't seem like any of the Disney characters themselves were matching. It doesn't seem like they scheduled anything together. So I would say just overall that person is not the asshole, but that's just my perspective. So
They sound, from what I've gathered, they sound like a bunch of young adults in their early 20s as well.
Hmm.
From what I gathered,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah. It's saying that they're in college, and of course, you can go to college at any age, but most people in college are usually in their early 20s. So I think it's safe to assume that they're probably in that age range.
yeah.
well, I
I'm
mean,
gonna.
the person also asked. They're also like, "Hey, you guys mind if I wear this other costume?" Everyone they didn't mind, so where's the issue then?
It
Like they,
seems like the friend Clara was the one who was just throwing the major hissy fit, from what I gathered.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I have a feeling, like Council said, that there's a lot of missing context.
Oh, yeah.
I think everybody's awful in this situation. And
Honestly,
I
same.
don't think it's an old Reddit thing. I don't think it's the yogurt. I don't think it's switching cosplays a couple months before a con. The amount of times I have switched something, like after I'm like, okay, bam, I have my lineup. This is what I'm gonna do, and then I get about 2 weeks, even like 2 months beforehand, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling it anymore.
Mhm.
My groups can be like, if I'm in any groups, they're like, oh, okay, chill. Like, sometimes we're just not into it. But I have a feeling it's not the cosplay on both sides. So yeah, I
yeah,
think there's a lot of missing context here. The context that we do have, everybody has their head up their ass.
Absolutely. That's the vibe I'm getting to. I absolutely agree. I don't think we have enough context here. And most cosplayers I know, of course, there is always exceptions. If you have to drop out a couple months ahead of time, that's usually enough time. Depending, of course, there are always exceptions. If it's like a really big financial commitment, then yeah, everyone's going to be pissed. That doesn't sound like the case here. But in most situations, people are going to be like, oh man, that sucks. Hopefully next time. But that gives people, enough time to find a replacement if they want to find a replacement. Um, but since this does sound a bit more casual, I don't know. But again, this does sound I do think everyone's kind of an asshole here. It sounds a little misleading. It sounds like maybe this wasn't a couple months ahead of time. It sounds like we were maybe misled and they're like, "Oh, well, this wasn't available to me until the last minute." And I'm like, "Was the last minute really a couple of months or was it a couple of weeks or a couple of days?" Like it's a little hard to tell. And if they're that mad, I'm wondering if maybe there's some other factors going on. And this Clara person for them, to be that angry, that doesn't sit well with me. I don't like it. Really rubs me the wrong way because it's one thing if it was just, hey, I need to drop out of this group. Okay, cool. Things happen. Everybody can be chill. I don't like that they were like, okay, you can wear your cosplay, but you can't hang out with us anymore. That pisses me the fuck off. That is not cool. Those are not your friends, dude. I would not hang out with these people anymore if they suddenly are like, "Oh my gosh, you're not cosplaying the same thing as us anymore. We just can't magically hang out anymore." Like, those are not your friends, man. You need to get better friends. I don't know.
Yeah. Like I said,
I think everybody is the asshole in this situation and we don't have enough context. But that
I
is
don't think it was the yogurt. I don't think it was the cosplay.
No,
yeah.
not my monkey, not my circus.
for sure.
So I think it's all agreement that the OP is not really an asshole, but like everyone should have been more, communicative on this situation.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's something here that we're missing, for sure.
I agree.
And the
Um,
cosplay was, the straw that broke the camel's back somehow.
uh,
Yeah, well,
um,
for sure.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Okay.
who wants to read Catamenti? Who wants to read the next one?
Ooh. I don't mind reading this if y'all are okay with that, unless you were, like, raring to read this, Minty.
You are all good. That one, I know. That one needs a little bit of translation. So
It's okay. It's okay. It does require a little bit of translating. All right. Am I the asshole for putting my daughter cosplay dress to the washing machine? All right. So to translate that, am I the daughter for putting
Yeah, you can see how I was
I believe in
struggling.
you.
You got this.
for putting my daughter's cosplay in the washing machine? Okay. Okay. I got to use all of my one brain cell. All right. I, 35 male, is a father of my daughter, 15 female, who loves to the dressing herself in cosplays and usually go on to some events. I promise I'm not trying to be hateful. It's just it's a little
So I would
funny.
like to say that the OP is still learning English. He only has the basics in some business as of 2 years ago, so he did really well.
He did.
Because
He did.
English is stupid.
Yes. I'm sorry. I'll stop being a dick. Okay. Okay. I, 35 male, am the
It's
father.
53.
Oh, he's 57. Oh, don't mind me. I got off work. I'm a little loopy. All right. I, 53 male, am a father to my daughter, 15 female, who loves dressing herself in cosplay and usually goes to some events. I am not supportive of her hobby, but I don't forbid her. I always stress my opinion of not supporting her based on cosplaying her, being risky of her stuff ending up on the dark web. Not being I'm just gonna say really quick, just because of how this is worded, I'm kind of ad-libbing, I'm kind of heavily translating this just so it's a little easier to digest. So I'm sorry that it's not a direct translation, but I'm trying my best here. Um, she also comes home late some days from these events, 7:30 to 8 p.m.
Mm.
Oh, the scandal! We made an agreement that she would come home before sunset or 10 minutes before, 10 minutes, 10 minutes more or less. Oh my gosh, where do they live? Unless it's the winter, I don't know. Um, I told her that she can continue the hobby, but it would put many risks on her wasting her pocket money, um, and her time on this silly dress up. But she says that she can protect herself. I sometimes tell her to find other hobbies such as planting or collecting stamps, but she's denied. However, I never forbid her. Or make rules for her to not cosplay or do anything that wrong and let her do. Okay. Um, I convince her on safety. Okay. Ooh, okay. Oof. My country isn't safe. My country isn't safe enough to let her walk at that time, even though it's suggested as moderately safe. And she has a mild leg impairment, so walking alone isn't safe for her.
Kat, are you too close to your mic? Because I'm getting like very like loud rumbling
Oh,
in
is this
my
better?
end.
Is this better?
Let me. Yeah, well, you're close friend. I don't know why I'm getting like. Is anyone else hearing the rumbling, or is it just me?
I'm not hearing anything.
Oh, here it's probably in my head. It's probably in my head.
Okay, yeah, no, I probably was just too close to the mic. My apologies. Okay. Yesterday she went to a cosplay event and she didn't come back home until late. I remember the time. 7:37 p.m. Oh
The
my
scandal.
gosh. Oh, the scandal. Um, and it's an hour and a half later from what we agreed, and it's pitch dark, no streetlights, with a boy. Oh no. I estimate the age to be the same as her. And he seemed to be flirting with her. Oh
The
no.
scandal.
Protective dad. Uh-oh. I call up to the boy, and he says that he's just her classmate, which I believe. I said that I was okay to the boy, but told him to just be aware of the danger in this circle. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. But Daddy, I love him.
Oh God.
Then my wife and I, 52 female, gave my daughter a big lecture, and she said that it was her fault to come home, that she came home late. She went to a restaurant with that boy to talk about schoolwork. Girl, you went on a date, don't lie. I'm okay with this for work, but I'm worried about her safety. And I told her I will give her one last chance to go to the cosplay event, but if she comes back home late again, then she will lose her chance. She seemed to be a bit disappointed and she started sobbing, but she's okay with me and promised to not come back home late again. After she went to bed, my wife and I spotted her cosplay dress, and we both felt bad for making her cry. So we decided to make her feel good by putting them in the washing machine. Oh no. I set it to normal clothes and added extra detergent and perfume. Oh no. And set it to 50 Celsius to make it the cleanest. Then I put her dress to dry in the sun. She came back from school, um, and she told me she was very angry that I destroyed her dress. And I told her that was not my intention. And I was giving her a lesson. And I was trying to teach. Oh, okay. And I was trying to teach her a lesson, and that I'm not supportive of her hobby. What? And then she cried. And then she said that there's no dress left. Huh? Oh no.
I'm more confused. Like, I get it. This sounds like it's, I want to say Europe
Okay,
or
okay.
Asia.
So my understanding. Okay, so I'm gonna try to translate the best I can. So they had this big talk, right? And he was like, "Hey, I'm giving you one last chance, but you can't be coming home from these events late." And she's upset, right? And she's like, "Okay, I guess." And I guess she goes to bed. And then the dad and the mom, they see her cosplay out, right? And they go and they put it in the washing machine, and they put it on what I'm going to assume was this really hot setting.
It's
And they
121 for us in freedom units.
Oh, honey, no. Oh my god. And it looks like they put extra detergent in, and then they hung it to drip dry. And
At
so
least they
that
hung it
is
up.
yeah, they hung it up. And so I'm going to assume that this was probably like a pre-bought cosplay.
It
And
sound
if
it
you
sound it
watch
sounds like
something that
a.
hot and it's like a cheap pre-bought cosplay, that's going to fall apart. And so it sounds like the daughter came home and she saw the cosplay and she was like, "Oh my god, Dad, why would you do that?" And he's like, "Oh, well, to teach you a lesson. And I'm not supportive of your hobby. Wah, 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 wah." And she was like,
But
"Dad, look, my cosplay fell apart." That's my understanding. That's what I'm gleaning from this.
Yeah,
Also, can we just that the hobbies are something to keep her at home instead of being social that he suggested?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like that. And I understand where the dad is coming from. I understand his concern, especially since it sounds like the country that they live in isn't very safe, and it sounds like she has some sort of leg problem or some sort of disability. Um, but if
I,
that is the case and she is that young, then maybe she has a family member go with her or a schoolmate that they trust or a chaperone. Like there are ways around this. Dad or mom or guardian,
Anyone?
like, you don't need to punish her for being a kid and having fun. This just doesn't sit well with me. Yes, you are the asshole, and you can disapprove of the hobby, that's fine, but you don't need to destroy her property, like, congratulations, she's probably going to cut contact with you. Oh my
well,
god.
the thing that, like, they give her, she's 15, so she should be home by a certain time, and she's
Yeah,
just
no,
like,
that's
oh,
completely
whatever,
reasonable.
I don't have to, but it seems like this. I mean, I don't know where in the world this is, but it seems like this dad just wants his daughter to be safe, which any dad wants their children to be safe no matter what.
Oh, for sure.
But if you're still young, you're not an adult yet, so you should be listening to your parents still. Like, yeah, it sucks. And I imagine they don't have a whole lot of money to begin with either.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the parents are supportive. I don't know. I guess they thought,
I don't know
cleaning.
if supportive is the right word, but
If
their
from what
heart's in the right place.
I read, they wanted to clean the dress for her. They want this is where we're sorry we make you cry. We'll make it up to you by cleaning your dress. And she thought that was their way of sabotaging it and making it seem like, oh, we don't support your hobbies. Like, no, they support your hobby. They were just trying to do something nice, but you took it as, oh, you did this to sabotage me. I hate you. Meh, 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 meh.
Yeah,
That's what
he
I
has
gathered.
said that he's not supportive. And
Yeah, he's
also
pretty
the
upset.
fact that they just threw it in the washer without. Are we
Reading
going to check
instructions.
tags? Are we going to check care instructions? No. Okay. So that to me says that they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because if I'm washing something of somebody, if I know that it's not like like a pair of pants or a t-shirt or
For sure.
like something that I personally wear, especially if it's cosplay, I'm gonna check with them. Hey, what is this made out of? Or I'm gonna check the tag if it's pre-made. Oh, this is like 2 cent a yard polyester. This should probably not go in hot. So
Yeah,
I
'cause if
think
you I'm
I
sorry.
think that the dad is definitely trying to sabotage without saying that he's sabotaging.
Mhm.
Because again, why are we not checking the care tags? Even the cheapest cosplays come with like washing instructions.
Mm.
Absolutely. And I think if the roles were reversed, let's say the dad I don't know, let's say the dad was super into golf or something, and the daughter was like, "Oh my gosh, dad, you're always golfing, you're never spending time with me. Mama, mama, mama." And the dad was like, "This is my hobby. Oh my gosh, why aren't you supportive of my hobby?" And the dad came home late one night, and the daughter was like, "Well, I'm gonna wash your golf shirt." And she put it on those settings, and it destroyed the golf shirt. Like, you can't tell me that wouldn't upset the dad.
No, it would. And I mean, I don't have kids, so I can't say anything.
Mhm.
I mean, I get the dad's intention. He wants his daughter to be safe. He doesn't want her. From what I gathered, it's more of he doesn't want his daughter to go out and have fun because of this and that. So,
For
like,
sure.
but you can't expect her to be at home all the time. Like, I get it. You want her to have
Exactly.
indoors. You want, in his mind, going out to these conventions is not safe. It's dangerous. He rather be home where he's there to keep an eye on her and she's safe and blah blah blah.
And it
Console.
does sound like there's some cultural differences, but again, it's hard to claim exactly what that is because we don't know what country this is in, and we can't really speak on that because we don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think this is another one where there's a lot of context missing. As someone, because I grew up in I wouldn't say strict household by any means, but my parents were very much protective of me in that sort of way, especially when I started cosplaying, because I started cosplaying very young. I started cosplaying when I was 12. So I was very much in the same boat that this young person is, cosplaying very young before they are mature enough to know, not necessarily know right from wrong, but know when people have ill intentions or not. So I see where the dad is coming from, and I understand the frustration that she does keep breaking his rules. She is probably in this rebellious teenager stage, but it also does not excuse her actions as well. It was a teenage girl, right?
15.
Yes, 15 female, yes.
Yeah. So I do understand his concerns. He did mention his area that he lives in or his country that he lives in is unsafe. He did give her, it sounds like, clear boundaries and guidelines. Like, if you're going to continue this hobby, you have to follow these guidelines, and I will let you continue this hobby, whether or not I support it or not. So the fact that she
Which
is,
is valid.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
it's being seemingly based off of how he's interpreting it, seemingly blatantly ignoring those boundaries does make her the asshole, but the way that he reacts to it makes him the asshole. So I think everyone sucks in
Absolutely.
this situation.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like
No,
the
that.
just like
No,
just like
I
the
agree.
just like
I
the
think
first
that's a super fair take.
the first part. Everyone, is this gonna be one of those where everyone ends up being the asshole segments?
Everybody sucks.
I mean, I think we'd all agree here that we were once this age. I mean, yeah, there are times where I was this age and I would be out for a long time, and I had everyone freaked out, rightfully so, because I didn't
Oh,
let anyone
absolutely.
know. So I get where the dad's coming from. I get there should have been a better way of going about it. Like, yeah, I don't know if it was his intention to sabotage the dress. Again, like Hansel said, there is so much that's not there,
Yeah.
and
No,
I'm I'm I'm,
absolutely.
I'm guessing this has to be again somewhere in Asia or Middle East or somewhere. I'm
Mhm.
not sure.
That's
Somewhere
the
in a
vibe I'm
different
getting.
country. But it just gives off, where they live in an area where it's not safe, probably don't have a whole lot of money to begin with, sort of stuff like that. But like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter what your age is. If you're still a teenager, you still if you're living with them under
Mhm.
their house, it's you got to abide by their rules,
Especially as a
Absolutely.
minor. I
especially since they're 15. Like, I get it. You want to go out, you want to have fun, but also, please be safe. Please listen to these rules, or you won't
yeah.
be able to have that fun anymore.
And I got into cosplay really hard at that age too, when I was
Oh,
like
yeah.
15, 16.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had hard and fast rules. Like, I had to be home by a certain time. If I wasn't home by a certain time, I had to have my phone on me to immediately call my parents or text them and tell them where I was. They had to meet everyone because like I had adult, like, more adult friends, people who were like 18, 19, who had a car, so we could drive around Sacramento's not the safest place in the world.
Oh,
uh
far fucking from it. I'm sorry. I've been to Sacramento for con.
no, it's awful. I'm from there. I can say it. Especially South Sacramento. It's a cluster. But I had those hard and fast rules of, you're going to be home by a certain time. If you're not going to be home by a certain time, you're going to call me. If you don't call me, you're going to get your ass handed to you when you get home. Like, it was very
No, no.
clear, expected. Like, if I went to a con in San Francisco with them. I was helping to table. One of them had a fashion brand, and I had very hard, clear, fast rules. You're going to call me in the morning, or you're going to text me in the morning, and you are going to call at night and tell me what's going on and make sure that you're okay. So I definitely do think this is an everyone sucks here. I know that pushing boundaries is just what kids do. I think that
For
she
sure.
is gonna have to fuck around and find out. But this find out was inappropriate from dad.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
I feel like everyone here is at fault, no matter what.
Oh, yeah.
So, in my opinion, just like the previous one, everyone's the asshole. Daughter really needs to listen to their parents. She's 15. Parents should not have gone that far and everything. But then also you have nowadays, and I'm sure you can agree, where there are those times where parents will just drop their underage kids off at a con, like, okay, bye.
Oh my God, those parents scare me.
Yeah.
I have had kids like that kind of wander up to me like lost baby chicks, and I'm like, "Where are your parents?" And they're like, "My mom just dropped me off.
What?
You know where blah 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 is?" And I'm like, "What?"
Hmm. Oh. On to the next. Who wants to read this one? It pertains to a very well-known Vegas con Level Up Expo.
I started reading this and got real mad. I'd love to read this one.
Ooh,
All
go for it, go
right,
for it.
go for it. And this one also says this person's the asshole. Let's find out why.
Yeah, let's see if we agree.
Go on, Minty.
So, am I the asshole for taking out a payday loan so I can go to Level Up Expo and get my cosplay right? My parents are furious with me to the point of cutting me off. I'm using a throwaway since I moderate on several subs that have to do with a hobby of cosplay, anime, and hentai. Cool. Uh,
Alrighty then. We're ready in that. We're ready in. God.
We're
God,
just
is this-
going
is
right out the
this
gate.
a whole Bakugo body pillow one all over again? Good
Was
fucking
this
God.
the body pillow person?
Well, that person was in there. Well, anyway, continue.
This
Oh,
is one of those where I see myself being 80% right, but I want to be fair. Honestly, I depend on my parents for a lot of stuff: rent, tuition, food, car insurance. I'm huge into cosplay and gaming. It has been a dream of mine to go to a big convention in my cosplay. A friend suggested we go to Level Up, since it
Not a
has
cheap con to begin with.
everything we like.
No.
No, it is not. Badges aren't super expensive. Bullshit. But we decided we wanted to super splurge on accommodation, so maybe we just host parties in our room. So the
I mean,
total
yeah,
cost
it's
of my
fucking
trip,
legal.
including everything, airfare, room, estimate for food, and badge, is about $3,500. I had $1,000 that I was supposed to pay towards my credit card, but I decided to get
How the hell is your
rest.
credit card $2,000?
Hey man, sometimes you gotta live off
Listen,
of
they
it, and it
have a
takes a
real
while
I
to
rate
know,
pay
now,
but
down.
God damn.
Oh my
Decided I would
God.
get the rest as a payday loan.
Oh.
I would get a payday loan. This was back in March, and so the trip was all paid for. I wanted to keep it a secret from my parents, but I accidentally missed my first payment to the payday loan. Yep. And for some God knows
Well,
how
you're
reason, the people at the payday loan did a search of my name, since I was ducking their calls until I could borrow some money from a friend. And they called my parents' home phone number looking for me. I can't
So
even
this
imagine
girl's
that
still
this
living
is
with their
legal.
parents. This girl's probably still living with their parents.
Oh my God.
But my parents are freaking the hell out. My dad basically
As they
said that
should.
this is it, that after the credit card debt and my grades and now the payday loan and missing a payment, I should have known a level of irresponsibility. He can't trust me anymore. And I either have to move home to go to community college or work for his company, or he cuts me off for good. As harsh as that was, my mom was even worse. And she literally screamed at me, like, cussing names, and told me that they didn't raise me like this. And I was acting like a spoiled Instagram asshole. Edit, just for clarification, I'm
I'm with
20
the mom.
female.
So this was posted 6 years ago. This person's either 26 or 27 now.
I hope they that's a big old fuck around and find out. You do not mess with payday loan places.
No.
Okay.
The loan
Here.
sharks will fucking come for you.
I can't
do not
imagine it's
fuck with
legal to
payday loans.
call me at my home. No, it's totally legal. They want their money, man.
Yeah. Payday loans are so predatory. Why would you do that? Oh my God.
Oh God. I'm
I'm
hoping.
sorry, Minty. We keep interrupting you.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Excuse me. No, it's fine. Like I said, I know I messed up, but am I really the asshole? You're a dipshit.
You're a dumbass, is what you
You're
are.
definitely a dumbass.
You're not just a dumbass.
There's a
You're
lot
not just
of
an
words
asshole.
I could
You're a
say,
dumb
but
asshole.
you got to bleep a lot out.
Oh God.
Oh, I just realized I missed a paragraph too.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So here's the deal. I'm not like so dense that I don't understand I messed up. I mean, I know that I need to pay my debts, but here's the deal. I mean, I'm only in college once and I only get to do things like level up while I'm young. I also think that this was a very normal mistake, and my parents should give me enough room to make mistakes and learn from them. This is not a normal mistake. This
No.
is like people skipping their rent
I can't tell this is real or fake, but if this is real,
I
God,
hope to
you
God
were
that
a-
this is rage bait.
God, you were.
Okay,
And
okay. I've seen
I know
this
people
before.
who are my age who go. I know people who are my age and older who go to Level Up Expo.
Okay, but this isn't the first time I've seen people take out loans to go to cons.
Wait, you know people who've taken out loans to go
Uh-huh.
to brother?
Yeah, I
ugh.
know that there have been people who have like
I've seen people do GoFundMes. I've seen people take out loans. People are stupid fucking cunts. I'm sorry.
Console.
I'm sorry. You're gonna have to bleep that out. But
I'm gonna
like,
bleep that out.
I'm standing on business with that.
Console. What are your thoughts on this whole at the time 20-year-old taking $2,000 of their credit card payment to fund their Level Up Expo escapades?
I will be the first to admit I've spent money on stupid shit, right?
I mean, we all have.
Oh, absolutely.
Show of hands or voices. You spending money on stupid shit. Don't. I'm not gonna show all the stuff over here, but.
Stares directly at Uber Eats.
I will be the first to admit I spent, especially when I was younger, my early 20s.
Oh, absolutely.
I did. Last time I was on Cosplay Con Talk, I think it was the last time I was on Cosplay Con Talk, one of the big points that I mentioned was do not go into debt for cosplay.
That is right. Yeah, you did talk about that. See, we educate people on here.
Say with cosplay within the past 5 to 10 years, especially with the pandemic becoming more popular and more mainstream, there has been this weird superiority complex that con goers have over people that cosplay outside of cons. There's like this weird separation, and people that hold people that cosplay at cons or can afford to go to cons, like the internet as a whole, like holds those people like almost more so on a pedestal than people who cosplay outside of the cons or just on the internet or by themselves for whatever reason. So I feel like the mixture of this person being so young and dumb and the influx of cosplayers kind of coming out during that time and wanting to do that fun thing and wanting to go to a con and wanting to do that like super fun thing that like all the cool kids are doing. I feel like that ultimately is what led to this situation. Are they still dumb as hell? Absolutely. Was it a dumbass? Absolutely. Please do not do that. Please do not go like give into social pressures, into internet pressures, into peer pressures. Again, for debts. I don't think they're necessarily an asshole. I think they're just stupid. I think they're just
big time.
No, they're not an asshole. They're a dumbass.
I actually saw this. This made me get real heated because I actually saw someone. I've seen this story circulate around a couple times, and I saw someone. I did see someone try to defend this, and they're like, "Okay, but if they were like actually paid it on time, this could have been really good for their credit score." And I'm like,
No, the it
No.
would not be.
"No, it would not. They made a stupid mistake. It's okay to be wrong."
I think they're an asshole for trying to hide it after the fact, like from their less asshole in this. They should have immediately, like, once they missed a payment or once something happened, like, they should have gone be like, "Hey, I fucked up." Like,
Exactly.
can you
Not
like
trying to.
here so as to not screw me over, like,
Mhm.
or like ask for help. Like, again, it was very much fun to find out. But they should not have been ignoring the calls. They should have gone to their parents as soon as they found out they fucked up and been like, "Hey, like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. Like, that was a dumb move." Like, I think they are an asshole for trying to hide it, but I just think they're just an idiot. That's
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And from what I'm gathering, this person is not from Vegas.
Oh,
For
definitely
one,
not.
this person is
Yeah,
not
they
from
did
Nevada.
mention needing a flight, so they're definitely not from
And
Vegas.
and I think we've also we've even talked about traveling for cons. Like cons are not cheap, whether it's in your home state or a different state or a different part of the world. Like you're looking at a lot of money. It's not like, oh, spend a couple, $300-400 or whatever to like a con that's in your home state that you've been going to. Like Level Up Expo is one of the, because I've had friends who go to Level Up Expo, and I know
Yeah, same
that
here.
they're saving up they're saving money up the wazoo to go to Level Up Expo. That, and also, it's more of a sort of a gaming expo, but you're also getting like well-known guests there, like, so I'm always try to be the person that if I go to a con, I'm going to try to budget. When or
For
someone
sure.
who finally went to a big convention in Portland last year, like I had to save the PTO and the money Did I spend a whole lot? No, but like you gotta be smart about your budget. And I know again, early 20s, you're finally an adult, and well, they're 20, so you're not really an adult, but you're not a teenager. You're in that area of like, okay, you need to like you're learning, but I can tell
You're old enough to know better.
this person has probably made fuck ups prior to again. They're in their mid 20s now, so I'm hoping they look back on this and are like, okay, yeah, I was a dumbass for doing that. I'm not gonna do it again, but who knows? So you're not an asshole. You're a dumbass. At the
Yeah.
time, you were a dumbass.
Also,
I don't know. I would say they're an asshole, but that's just me. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
I
think they're
know I don't have much sympathy in this particular situation
also the
because it
comment.
seems like this is a pattern from what I'm gleaning here. But that's just me.
Yeah, the comment saying that like it was something along the lines of like, oh, like they're only in their college ages, like for
I'm
so.
only in college once. I need to go to this con while I'm young.
You're still gonna be young when you leave college, honey. Like I hate the idea that the minute that you like turn 30 that you're old, or the minute you hit, I don't know.
I am 30.
Yeah, exactly. No, I hate that idea that so many people like our age and Gen Z and fucking whatever, they're like, oh my God, you're 25, you're 30, you're 40. Oh my God, you're so old. I hate that idea. You are still so young. You are in the prime of your life. You should go out. You have more money in your 30s, so you can fucking afford to go to this con.
I may be 30, yet I may be 30, but I have the body of a 50-year-old middle-aged man.
Yeah, you can wait a couple of years. You'll be fine. Like,
Yeah, it won't.
Exactly. And you will be able
Not the
to
end of the
afford
world.
it in a couple of years. And you will have so much more fun.
You'll
Because
have
you
more
won't be going,
more
oh my
money.
gosh,
I'm
I sure hope
hoping
that I can afford to eat and be able to do this and that. Because you'll be able to go, yes, I can afford to eat. And oh my gosh, I can buy that Bakugo body pillow that I've been wanting.
Not
And then I can make
acceptable.
scratch this in my head that I read
just
out.
because, and I'm sure we can all agree with this before we go to the next one. Just because you can't afford to go to this big con that you always wanted to go to, doesn't mean like, oh, I'll never be able to go. Like, you'll be able to go. Like, hell, I want to go to Dragon Con one of these days.
Oh, me
Will
too.
I be able to go? Will I be able to go
talking about
someday?
that for a while.
Will I be able to go someday? Yes.
Yes.
Will I need to save a shit ton of money to go? Yes, because it's all the way in freaking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Flights to
I mean,
Atlanta are not cheap.
no, just traveling for con in general, like a small con that you live nearby. That's one thing. You can take the bus, a cab. You can, well, if you live not that far from it.
Oh my God, yeah. No, like God, when I go to Fanime, I spend anywhere between like 1,500 to 2,000.
God, the most I've ever spent on a con was under. I mean, the most I've spent on a con traveling. Like, I think my budget for Kumo was under $100, but I still was able to get food. I still had a fun time.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I was mainly busy going to and fro, going back and forth between the convention center and the Hyatt to do interviews.
Hmm.
But like, I still had fun, and I didn't really spend a
Oh
whole
yeah.
lot of money. I try not to really spend a whole lot of money at cons, but like, if I
I mean, as long as
know,
you're having fun.
oh no, yeah, no. Um, Anyway, I think we're all in agreement. They're an asshole. They're a dumbass. They're an idiot. I hope they learned their lesson. Who
They
knows?
suck.
Asshole for calling us all old.
I hope they learned. I
Um.
genuinely hope that this person has learned.
Yes.
All right. So, on to the next one. I'll read this one, and then Kat will be reading the last one. This one is called "Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to go to events with with one of my best friends?" This says it's not the asshole. So, let's begin. I um I 19 male have one of my closest friends, female 19 female. Uh, we met when we were 13 and freshman year of high school. Aw. June, just last June, July, we were supposed to go to a semi-big anime convention together. That could be any semi-big anime convention, from FanX to Wasabi to whatever, or Anime Los Angeles. Um, because together we planned it since December of
That should
2022.
actually mean fucking Dragon Con or something.
We planned it. Oh, so they planned it. Oh wow. So they've been planning. So this came out 5 months ago, and they planned this since December of 2022. So they had this con planned for a year. It looks like.
Ooh.
I bought the entire weekend pass, which was like $100, which is a fair price for a weekend pass. So this is definitely one of those cons where like um tickets can go
Get your
anywhere from
con, for
like
sure.
VIP passes could be anywhere from $200 to $300.
Oh yeah.
And so this is yeah. Um, let's see. I bought him though F canceled on me in May, saying she could no longer go, despite the fact that the tickets were non-refundable and I'm not able to go into in the big cities events near city without someone. Well, yeah, they're 19. That makes sense. It's a
Ooh.
rule my parents have placed, especially since Chicago. Oh, it's Chicago. It could be C2E. It could be C2E2.
Oh yeah,
Oh
no, that would
no,
make
no.
sense.
This is a big anime convention. It's not
Oh,
C2E2.
okay.
But this is it's. I'm familiar with some cons in
Right,
Chicago.
right. Mm.
Since Chicago and the area has been getting worse as of a few years ago. After the con
Oh.
passed, F openly talked to me about how fun it was going, how she said she went alone without me, despite canceling non-refundable tickets. What the fuck?
What?
Oh, I can't go with you. Blah 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 blah. Oh,
Oh, but I'm
I
gonna
went
go
anyway
anyway with
alone.
money. Fucking bitch.
God, that's a fucking my language. I'll bleep that out. It's
Nah,
a word I
no,
don't like
don't
using. It's a word I
apologize.
don't like using, but that's a dick move. Despite
Oh
canceling
my
non-refundable
god.
plans, never once apologizing. This year she plans to go alone again, not inviting me, though F offhandedly said she'd take me to my first con next year. Oh, they've never been to a con. This was supposed to be their first con too.
Oh
Oh, this
Mm.
poor guy. This poor guy.
no.
Give me a
Oh.
first con next year because she wanted to take me to my first con. To which I replied, "I don't want to go to my first con with you next year. That's 2 years too late. Uh,
You tell her.
last year. I'd rather go with someone else more reliable instead." Which is where I might be an asshole, as I might have been kind of mean stating it bluntly. You're not an asshole for stating that. The fact that she practically just pretty much flaked and bailed on you just so she can go by herself.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh
Um,
my
she's now
god.
upset. I'm holding last year against her, even though it hurt and I wasted a lot of money. F is also upset. I won't even humor thinking about going to. F is also upset. I won't even humor thinking about going to Sabrina Carpenter's tour with her instead of planning on going with my sister and my mom, as I can't take a 13-year-old to Chicago by myself. So his sister's 13. Telling her last year was such a big event and she ditched me to go alone. I wouldn't let her ruin big events me for 2 more years consecutive. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Um, F insists it's cruel not to want to go to bigger events with her, even though I love hanging out with her. Because it was a mistake a year ago at that, and I'm being an ass for bringing it up at any given opportunity. I feel bad as I'd love to go, but I just can't get over it and cite it as the reason why I won't go. Am I the asshole refusing to go to any big events? Well, no, because you don't want to have the fear of making plans with them, and then they say they cancel, and then you have to cancel, then you find out they went anyway.
Not an asshole at all. Honestly, that's not a friend. I would drop
Yeah.
that person
Yep.
so fast.
I was even
Oh
gonna
my
say,
god.
am I the asshole for not going with my best friend? Brother, you don't have a friend.
That's not a friend.
That's a
Yeah, let's
leech.
see. Someone said,
Yeah.
not the asshole. She should learn there are consequences to flaking up people and costing them money. Oh,
That's
I
what I
know that
get
all too
fucking around
well.
and finding out.
Uh,
Man, I
let's
hope
see.
they have fun at Sabrina Carpenter.
Let's see. Not the asshole. Canceling you was the cut. Going alone was rubbing salt in it and openly talking about much fun she had. Going alone was squeezing the lemon juice in it. She had a chance to take you to her first con. She blew it. Cruel? Yes, but 1,000% rightfully so. Did she even apologize for screwing up your plans? If not, then jump it up to 9,000, rightfully so.
The fact that she's playing the victim and she's like, "Oh my god, you keep bringing it up. I can't believe that you would do that."
Like, bitch, you canceled on a music win
no.
anyway. I can imagine how much money this con would have cost in general, not just the tickets alone. Well, now I'm not sure if it's
Not
now.
refundable.
Now, is it like $100 each for a weekend pass, or was it like
Probably.
$100 for both, like altogether, like 50 and then 50?
That would be my assumption, is that it is $100 each. Just
Oh,
knowing
so
how like a
he
lot of
spent,
conventions are priced now,
Yeah,
especially
Chicago's
for
not
full
cheap.
weekend stuff. Yeah, and
and I doubt.
Chicago is not cheap.
No.
But for a 19-year-old is a lot of money.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
Yeah, I can attest to that.
they work like some sort of entry level job if they have a job, or are paying to go to school or college or stuff like that. So like $100 is a lot of money.
$100 is a lot of money to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting shitty parents, shitty friends,
Oh my
people who
god.
just like are wasting money. What, like, I don't even know what to call this the theme. What would be the theme of this be? Because there seems to be a constant theme going on.
Everybody sucks tonight. Oh my god.
God, fucking hey. Has now this actually brings me to a question because I don't think I've ever asked it on Get to Know That Cosplayer or any other podcast panel. Has anyone ever had any friends flake on them for an event, for a convention or some big event, only to find
Yes.
out that they ended up going anyway?
Yes.
Honestly, no.
Same.
Because if I did find out, I'm already full of rage. Like,
It's like, oh, I'm your friend. Not anymore.
Yeah,
Bye, Felicia.
type of people anymore. So
Oh no, I chewed them out and we weren't fucking friends anymore.
Like now, if I made plans for something and they legit canceled and they weren't able to go, that's one thing. But
Oh, for sure.
canceling, saying, "Oh, I can't go," only to find out they went alone. Like, I get it. This 19-year-old definitely lives with their parents, and I don't blame their parents for not wanting them to go alone. Like, Chicago in itself is just is nuts to begin with.
Yeah.
So, like, I understand that. I mean, this was 5 months ago. I don't know. I'm hoping that, like, I don't know. This is 5 months ago,
They
so who
dropped this
knows?
person. Oh my gosh.
So hopefully that, and they're also young too. So like right now they're probably like 20, 21,
I would think
22
so.
maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause this was back in like, you know, 2023, so they're young adults. They're in college.
Oh yeah.
So hopefully, they're not friends anymore, or hopefully, like, they just don't invite them to events at the least.
Well, see, the beauty of being that young, like, see, here's the thing. Being in your early 20s, I'm gonna be honest, it fucking sucks. But the beauty of it is you're still learning so much about yourself.
mhm.
And it's
World's
such a
scary.
great time in your life to like
The world's a
really
scary place to
discover
begin
yourself
with.
and reinvent yourself. And like you learn so much and you're able to really find out who your friends really are and find out what you want out of a friendship and what is a good friend and what is not a good friend. And like admittedly, I'm a little fucking dense, so it took me until like God by mid 20s to figure it out. But I learned. But it sucks that this person is having to go through that, but I wish them the best. And I hope that they are able to go to their first con, and I hope that they have a great time, and I hope that it is never with F.
I hope they have better friends.
Yes, I hope so
Yeah.
too.
All right. So, not the asshole. Your friend is definitely the asshole. I think we mentioned this in a previous Reddit reading. Just if you're gonna invite someone, make sure it's someone who will actually keep their word. I mean, if they have to cancel for if they have to cancel for like legit reasons, like, oh, I can't afford it, oh, this came up. Okay, that's understandable, but to cancel, then go instead, and then just like,
Yeah, and
I'm
then go
guessing.
anyway.
I'm guessing. I don't know if the friend told the friend that they can't go, or the friend just assumed that they were gonna go, or
Mhm.
whatever. But either way, it's still fucked up.
Oh, for sure.
All right. This is the last one, I believe. It's the cat. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Before you read it, the last one is: Am I the asshole for letting my 13-year-old wear her public or for not letting? It's just this last one about the 13-year-old
Yes.
not dad. Yeah, you know what it is. You know what it
Mhm.
is.
Yes. All right. Last one. All right. Am I the asshole for not letting my 13-year-old wear her cosplay in public? All right. Hey Reddit, I need some opinions because because I sure feel like an asshole and I don't know if it's because I'm the parent and sometimes putting down the foot sucks or if I'm a genuine asshole. My 13-year-old girl loves anime. My Hero Academia and Demon Slayer are their jam.
Good
They're
anime.
also the weird kids, especially this particular 13-year-old in question, as she's gay slash bi. Unsure, and that's cool. Oh,
Hey,
we love
supportive
a
parent.
supportive parent. We love to see it. As well as goth slash emo and an anime nerd.
I went to a lot of. I was friends with a lot of those back in high school. Me
Oh, me
being
too.
one of the
I
anime nerds.
I I was definitely that kid.
I think we all were in high
Oh
school.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's not a phase, mom. It never was.
Nope.
Mm,
uh, they love YouTubers and all things social media. All in all, great kids, hearts of gold, and if not a little kid-ish for this generation. They got Demon Slayer costumes this year for Christmas. Full, almost $100 a pop costumes.
that's
They are
cheap.
amazing and detailed with with ribbons and clips, mouthpieces, kimonos, the works.
Oh,
One
so they were going as Nezuko, from the sound of it, with
Yeah,
mouthpiece.
yeah, that's what it sounds like if they're mentioning the mouthpiece. One of my girls wants to wear her cosplay everywhere. To the large main shopping center, to the park, walking down the street. I told her no, mostly because it's expensive, but also we live in the ghetto. There are crackheads and crack houses 2 streets away. People don't understand slash get nerd culture because that isn't part of their culture slash growing up. I don't want my 13-year-old child to get harassed, yelled at, or possibly grabbed at, slash her costume torn because people are assholes and bullies. She said that she would wear them to the shops in the she said that people wear them to shops in YouTube videos. And I explained to her that that's for views and money. That's not real life. I said that I would try to find a cosplay group uh, in our area that she can wear it to. Take her to cons next year, fingers crossed. But she's hysterically sobbing, locked herself in her room, and asked,
Mm,
"What's the point?" It's breaking my heart. I know part of it is because she's a girl, but she's crushing. I know part of it it's because there's a girl she's crushing hard on. Oh, is going to the park in her costume, supposedly. But still, it would kill me if she got harassed or laughed at or pushed because of it. Reddit, am I the asshole for wanting to protect my kid?
unlike the previous one
Ooh,
with the parent, no, this one is not the asshole. I can
yeah,
this
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
unlike and
so either.
that kid was 15. So
Oh,
they're a teenager. This is a fresh teenager. Once you hit
mhm.
13, you are officially a teenager and a lot of emotions, especially if you're
Oh
a
yeah.
girl and you're confused about your sexuality too. Like that in itself is just a whole whirlwind of emotions going on.
Mhm. I mean, I don't think gender necessarily matters because
No, no, no,
no
no, no,
matter
no,
what your
no.
gender is, you got a million
No, no, no,
hormones.
no, exactly. But like, their potential this kid is, gay or bi, and
Mhm.
also just turned 13. Like a whole whirlwind of emotions are just like,
Oh yeah.
and then hearing your dad say, "No, I don't." In her mind, she thinks it's her dad saying no, but in reality, it's like, I'm not saying no. I just don't want you to get hurt or something worse happen to you if you go out in public.
Exactly. Well, and from what I'm gleaning from this, they're in the ghetto, and from what I understand from people who have grown up in the ghetto, that nerd and anime culture just isn't something
Mm-mm.
that is a big part of their culture, and kids who were openly nerdy or even showed interest in that stuff got bullied relentlessly or even got beat up for that sort of thing.
I've seen and heard a lot about it on this channel.
Yeah. And so I think some of that maybe is from this parent's experience of growing up and kind of wanting to protect their kid from that. And I know that there is some change and that it is kind of becoming the cool thing now. But I know in a lot of ghettos, I don't know if it is still the same. Granted, where I live currently is not considered a ghetto. It's not the neighborhood that I live in is not a super well off area, but it's not like super ritzy either. The town I live in is decent, but that's another subject for another day. Where was I? I think the dad is definitely trying to protect the daughter and is kind of
or mom. It doesn't
or yes, or the
specify.
mom, where it does. I'm not sure what the gender of the
Yeah, no, it
parent
doesn't
is.
say.
I think the parent is definitely going based off of maybe their experience. And even though things have changed and nerd culture is a little more mainstream, I think they're definitely trying to protect their kid. I found the comment about the daughter being like, "Oh, well, on YouTube, cosplayers go into these shops and do this and do that." I find that really interesting because that content is very popular. And that kind of makes me question, because I know that type of content is very, very popular with that age group and that demographic, and it almost makes me wonder, like, the morality of maybe making that sort of thing. Like, is that safe to make? Or, how should I phrase this? Like, there's nothing wrong with making it, but also it is a very young demographic. And a lot of the content that I have seen of that recently, I have noticed that sometimes it can be a little inappropriate for that particular demographic, and I'm just like,
hell, I remember being 13, discovering
interesting.
YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But more so, like, I'll see, be like, "Oh, I'm cosplaying in public," and I don't think there's anything wrong with making that type of content, like,
No.
but then I'll see, like, oh, like, prank videos, or, oh, I'm going to make, like, sexually suggestive comments in my videos, or, oh, I'm going to be a public nuisance.
We're not going to talk about that, but I already know some
Yes,
names
we're not.
of people who
And I'm just
cosplay
like,
who cause issues at cons.
we're
Not
not
gonna
going
say
to
any
talk about the
names,
moldy bread man.
but if you know, you know.
Yeah, that's a video for another day. But it kind of almost makes me wonder, since the demographic is so young, what where do we draw the line with something like that?
Not to mention, this post came out 3 years ago when COVID was still at large too.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. So I understand where the kid is coming from, because yeah, no, they had this awesome costume. They want to find a place to wear it. And I think it's perfectly reasonable for the parent to be like, "Hey, let me meet you in the middle. Let me find like a cosplay group. Let me find cons to go to." So I'm rambling. I don't think the parent's the asshole at all in this situation.
No.
I do think they're definitely on the right track. One of the comments mentioned setting boundaries and setting safe places for them to wear the cosplay,
For sure.
which is very important. Like boundaries in general, like we were just talking earlier, boundaries in general for especially teenagers is really important. They're gonna push back, but they need everybody needs those boundaries, not just teenagers or kids or anything. And again, like I've been there. I used to live in the ghetto of Sacramento in South Sac, right off of Florin. If anybody knows where that is, it's iffy.
Driven by it many years ago for a con.
Yeah. And that was something that was, even at a convention, like, I was schooled very hard on, personal safety and when to say no to somebody and when enough is enough as a kid.
Cosplay does not equal consent.
Yeah, and you're gonna forget that stuff as a kid too. Like, you're gonna get really wrapped up in things. So I do think that the parent definitely has their kid's best interests at heart. It's just gonna suck while the kid learns boundaries.
And
Absolutely. Well,
also,
and it's hard when your kid is crying, and of course you want to be like, "Oh no, sweetie, I'm so sorry. I changed my mind on everything." But sometimes you got to be the bad guy.
console thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this parent is the asshole at all. I think they are doing the most, honestly, to be a very supportive parent for this kid and their hobbies and their interests. And I think that's very cool to see. And I think if there is an issue here, which I don't think there really is, I think it's just this parent feeling a little bit guilty for making their kid feel sad. But if I were to read super hard into it, and if there was an issue, I would say maybe the biggest issue would be maybe communication style between the parent and their kid, being able to properly communicate their concerns to their child and be like, hey, instead of just saying, no, you can't do that, like, no, you can't do that because I have these concerns, and making sure that their child understands it fully. So that would be the
That's a
thing.
good point.
It's like maybe this parent just isn't properly communicating that to their child, and that's what's making the child upset. Not the fact that the parent is being mean or unreasonable. I think the parent is super reasonable in the situation and very supportive. I think it might just be a little bit of a communication issue between the parent and the child in this scenario. So I think the parent just needs to sit down with their kid and once the kid has calmed down, and just be like, hey, like, I really want you to wear this costume. Like, I do. I genuinely do. However, like, this is the reason why I don't want you to do it every single day or in these specific areas or whatever. I think it's just a little bit of a communication issue between the child.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. And I can tell this is the type of parent that, this is the type of parent that would actually take their kid to the con, not drop them off, but like go with them to a con. Like walk. Yeah, the parent may not be into it, but like they want to make sure their kid's safe. Their kid is 13, still in high school, living in the ghetto for who knows whether it's here in the States or in different country, because countries even have their own versions of the ghetto. And this could also be a single parent too, because there's no mention of another parent.
For sure.
Yeah.
So and we've talked many times on here on the channel specifically, and past Reddit, where there's parents that are concerned for their younger kids getting into cosplay, and also yes, also social media, YouTube definitely has an impact on the younger generation. Like,
Oh yeah.
I get that. When I was that age, growing up watching YouTube, watching these YouTubers doing like the gaming content and everything, and blah blah blah, like, it's the cosplay stuff. Like, yeah, it's fun and all, but you have to be careful. You're still young. You're still a teenager. Just because it looks cool and safe on the internet doesn't necessarily that's how it is in real life. You got to separate, the stuff you see online from real life, because
Exactly.
there's all that editing and everything too. And this also, their mind is still developing as well.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that this parent is taking the time when the kid brought up, oh, but they're doing this in the YouTube videos, that the parent is like, hey, but they're doing this for views and money. That's not reality. I appreciate that they're taking that moment to say, hey, let's separate fiction from reality for a moment because I feel like a lot of parents just don't do that nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And that means a lot to me. So parent, wherever you are out there, thank you for doing that for your kid.
Oh yeah, no, oh no, I hardly again. Just one thing. There's also there's also the caution. There's also precaution. The parent looking out for their kid. Also, because again, this was in 2021 or potentially 2020 when COVID was huge. So not only are you having to deal with your kid going out and cosplaying a ghetto, there's also the chance of them potentially getting COVID.
Oh yeah.
So that's just a whole freaking other can of worms right there. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Reality, not the asshole. You're as a parent, whether it's a mother or father or adopted parent, whatever. Again, not specified. I think they're doing a good job and they're looking out for the safety of their child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to put your foot down, but you gotta do it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
there are parents that genuinely care about
Mhm.
their kids' safety and well-being, especially when it comes to probably one of the most craziest hobbies out there.
Yeah.
And I think we can all admit this hobby can be a little crazy sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Agreed.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What? Crazy.
It's great. Cons being crazy and weird. What?
This is a perfectly normal hobby.
I am a
Bullshit.
totally normal functioning adult.
Sorry,
Man in a bikini.
we're all full functional adults. Since when? Anyway. Oh, okay. So this is a mother because I'm just reading it. Shelly Pancake.
Oh, that's such a cute username.
Good one.
Okay, so Shelly Pancake, you are not the asshole.
Mhm.
Good on you, Mom.
So
And
I think that's it.
I think so.
Before we end this, gonna have everyone drop their links. Console, starting with you. Where can people find you on the social medias to stay up to date with your cosplays and conventions, and when you may be another cosplay guest?
Yes. I am Consul of Cosplay, consul.of.cosplay on pretty much all socials. Instagram is where I am most active, but I do have a little bit of everything. Yeah, I always put whatever next con I'm going to, whatever cosplays I'm working on. Yeah.
And Kat, where can people find you on social medias? And I know also there's that new social media website that people are going to instead of Instagram and Twitter.
Which one? There's multiple.
I know, but where can people find you in general on social medias?
Okay, so there's a couple different places you can find me. I am mostly on Instagram. You can find me at Cat Valentine Cosplay. I recently got locked out of my Twitter, but if you want to scroll through all of my crazy ass tweets, you can find me there at Cat Valentine Cos. You can also find me on TikTok, Cat Valentine Cosplay, and you can find me on Blue Sky at Cat V Cosplay.
That's what it is. It's Blue Sky and Threads.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I feel like Blue Sky is like the good twin. Like Twitter is like the evil twin and Blue Sky is like the good twin almost. Oh, it's so refreshing. Oh, I love it. It's so good. Everybody go on Blue Sky. Unless you're toxic, then don't go on Blue Sky.
And Minty, where can people find you on the social media to stay up to date with your cosplays, conventions, and your books?
My books. So you can find me. Again, I'm also primarily active on Instagram, Minty Poison Cosplay. I am still kind of in the middle of a break, but you can totally find me at KisuCon in December, the weekend before Christmas.
Oh, that's right. I remember they were promoting. This is their first official year, I think, right?
Yep, it is their very first event.
Nice.
Wow.
Stay
I'm
warm,
looking at the
people.
wrong month.
Drive safe.
Yes, please do. So December the 20th to the 22nd, I will be down in Portland for KisuCon. I will be one of the judges there, and I'm so excited.
Oh, nice.
So fucking happy
So
for
excited
you.
to absolutely destroy people. No.
Destroy.
Yeah,
I gotta get a hold of KisuCon for an interview now.
Oh,
soon.
you should. Yeah, they're really chill there.
'Cause
I am also on Blue Sky though. I believe it's Minty Poison Cosplay. I mostly did it to save the username. And then if you like hearing me yell about books and how much I hate this timeline, you can find me over on Minty's Bookshelf as well on Instagram.
Nice. You all know where you can find me. Mainly active on the grams, not so much the tweets or the Facebooks or the TikToks. But I'm also active on YouTube, so be sure to keep an eye out for future interviews, podcasts, reviews, and all that other fun shit. Oh yeah, Kat.
Yeah.
Do your thing where people can send their "Am I the asshole" things and all that fun shit.
Yeah. If you guys want to submit your own stories and you want us to judge you super harshly, but not actually really, but maybe you can submit your own stories to Am I the Asshole Cosplay Edition at gmail.com. That is AITA cosplay at gmail.com. That is AITA. Oh, wait, there's an H in there. Oh my god, I'm so stupid.
You're not
So
stupid.
that is AITAH cosplay at gmail.com. Again, that is
Don't
AITAH cosplay at gmail.com. I'm sorry. I have the stupid.
No one's stupid here. There's no one stupid here, and there's no stupid questions. You will be judged if you choose Superman, though. But yeah, that's where you can find all that fun stuff, and of course, there'll be a giant picture with the thing. But yeah, as always, I'm Wayne the Unknown. Until next time, thank you for listening, and as always, thank you for watching, and also, as is always said, at a con, don't forget to wash your ass.